Hey everybody, CW here, Card Wolf, because I am always on the hunt for great cards. Hope you guys had a great weekend. It is Monday Mail Day, and what you see before you is an array of mail that I have gotten in. This is stuff, well, in two cases, it's stuff that I picked up online, I bought online, and I'm happy to have found. And in this case, you can see I already opened it because I didn't know what it was. It just came addressed to CW, as a lot of things often do. That's what I go by. So I get mail sent to CW, but I had no idea what this was. And so I opened it, and I'm happy to show it to you because it was kind of a very pleasant surprise. So I'm going to get into that. Hope you are all doing well and that your weekend was enjoyable, that you had a good time watching the first Sunday of the NFL season. I have only watched one game from yesterday. I watched it last night after the kids went to bed, and that was the Ravens game, and was delighted at their performance. They were a little rusty, that's for sure, but fortunately they were only playing the Texans, which allowed them margin for error, shall we say, and they did emerge victorious, and I did enjoy seeing the game. Also saw some of the scores from the early games, and man, I've been saying for the last few weeks that the Falcons were a team to watch, and they did pretty well against a Carolina team that a lot of people thought were going to win their division. I don't think people have really taken into account all the talent on the Falcons. I'm not a huge Falcons fan by any means, but just looking at their offseason moves, seeing a little of their preseason, I think that is a team to watch. If their offensive line can stay healthy and protect their young quarterback, they're going to be a very tough team to stop. See how they do. All right, so let's get into this mail and see what we have here. I'm going to show you this one first. I opened this because I didn't know what it was, and it is not something from anyone who I think watches the channel. It is something from kind of a friend of mine that I know a little bit, an acquaintance of mine, and I sent him a bunch of, this was quite a while ago, I sent him a bunch of Pokemon cards. He and his kids lived in Singapore, and they have since moved to the U.S., and he, is very happy with the move, and things seem to be going well for them. But before they left, after I had sent them cards in Singapore, before they left, they went to the Pokemon Center in Singapore. Apparently there is a Pokemon store in Singapore, and they went there and picked something up for me, and just got it in the mail, and I'd kind of forgotten about it. And then when I got this, I opened it, and I immediately realized what it was, and I emailed him, and he said, yeah, I finally put that in the mail. Sorry it took so long. And it's really quite neat, so I'm going to share it with you and show you what it is. I sent it FedEx, and it is a pin. It's a Pokemon pin from Pokemon Center Singapore, and it is really a very cool pin. I'm pretty into this. I think it's really quite neat. It's got Pikachu and Celebi, and I think this is Lapras there, and really cool pin. I'm really into that. I think it's very neat. I know my son is going to be I just opened it today, so I think my son's going to be really pretty pumped about this when he sees it. I'll have to figure out a nice place for us to put this, and you can see it was in commemoration of the Pokemon Center Singapore's 1 year anniversary. So pretty cool. I really like it. I'll have to really think carefully about where we may want to pin this, or if we just want to keep it in the original bag. I'm not sure, but something that I had never seen before, and something that I was really pretty delighted to get, and hope that you guys think it's pretty cool too. I really like it quite a lot, and I want to thank my friend for sending that. He said his kids picked it out, which they did a great job. They picked out a really, really cool thing. I'm very appreciative of that, so thank you guys for that. And then these other two are things that I picked up online in the last month or so, and I wanted to go ahead and open on the channel. This first one is, this one is also a Pokemon item, so I'll do that one second to kind of add some variety. This is a baseball card, and I was really surprised that I got this. I didn't bid very much on it, and I kind of thought, well, I'd really like to get that, but I also don't know that I want to bid too much on it, and I won it, so that was pretty awesome. See if there's any kind of weird paperwork in here or anything, get that out of the way, and then just got the ubiquitous painter's tape that we often see on card packages these days. See if I can slide it out of there without having to unpeel all of that tape. Yes, there we go. Very good. Put that over there, and you can see This is a Brooks Robinson card with stadium memorabilia there, and it is from Topps Heritage Baseball Flashbacks insert that they did, and it's a really awesome card. Now, it doesn't say particularly what this stadium memorabilia is. It's wooden. I can see that much, and I could see it. Take it out of this protector there and have a better look at it. Even take it out of the top loader. This card, by the way, and that's the thing I wanted to say, this card I won it on a high bid of $7.65, which felt like was very good. I felt pretty happy about that. So this is definitely wooden, and it's even a little rough, kind of, almost not splintery exactly, but definitely got a rough sort of finish to it. And it's Brooks, and it's in beautiful shape. It's nicely centered, great corners, all of that. Not that I'm planning to get it graded, but, very nice. And I assume it's from Memorial Stadium, which is the stadium that I've seen the most Major League games in. Doesn't exist anymore. It was torn down after they built Camden Yards in Baltimore. But growing up, I went to a lot of games at Memorial Stadium, and I still have a lot of fond memories of that. And that's what this blurb on the back is talking about. So I assume that's what that piece of wood is from. It doesn't specifically say that on the back, but I assume that's what it's from, and it doesn't tell me what that's from. Memorial Stadium was mostly a sort of a post-war concrete stadium. They made a lot of stadiums in like the early 50s and whatnot that looked like that. But, of course, there were wooden seats and, a lot of other, facilities inside the stadium that were made out of wood and whatnot. But very interesting card, and I thought, I'll put a $10 bid on this and ended up getting it for less than that. So pretty happy with that. I really like the card now that I'm holding it. It's a very unusual card, and I actually had not seen that card before. So it was one that I was very interested in when I saw it come up. Always looking for interesting Brooks Robinson cards. If you watch the channel, he is, for a long time, one of my favorite players and somebody that I met and have a very high opinion of. So very neat to get that card, and very happy to have it, especially for such a low price. Hard to beat that. So the third item that I have to show you is a Pokemon card that I picked up, and this is a graded card, and it's one that I had wanted ever since it had come out. It's a pretty recent card. It's only been out for, I don't know, probably a year and a half at this point, if I'm remembering right. And just a nice card. You guys know, if you have seen me open Pokemon stuff or talk about my Pokemon collection before on the channel, you know that I do like Pokemon. I haven't opened a lot of it on the channel lately, but I still collect it certainly and follow it and enjoy it quite a bit. And this card is one that I was very interested to get to add to my full art trainer collection. It is a full art trainer, but it is also an alt art card. And what that means, if you don't collect Pokemon, is there's a regular version of the card, and that's full art, but then they do a second full art version that has different art and is much rarer to get. And so, and often the art on the alt art cards is much better than the other art, and that's certainly the case with this card. Really pretty card, in my opinion, and one that I really wanted. And then when I saw that they were starting to get graded and whatnot, I thought, well, that's even better. If I can get a graded version of this, why not do that? I'm not sure there's a better way to open this. I'm just going to peel this kind of strange tape. I'm not sure what that tape is, but a little unusual tape there. And you can see this is Elisa Sparkle, and it is from the Fusion Strike set. Get that in focus so you can appreciate the beauty of that card. And it is a PSA 10 copy of that. And I'm always one to kind of, go by the, this is something that I'm sure you've heard before, but I think it's a really good rule, is to buy the card and not the grade. And so I was looking around for this card in a 10, and there were a lot that I didn't feel like were really, they weren't good 10s, I'll put it that way. I don't want to say too much about PSA's grading practices, but they weren't cards that I felt like, oh yeah, this is a really good 10. It had some minor thing wrong with it. It didn't seem perfectly centered to me, or there were a lot of issues with, the back. A lot of times you see, white spots along the back and whatnot. And this one looked pretty good, and so I decided to go for this. I think it's a really nice example of this card, and I'm very happy to have it. And I think this is one, again, it's only been out for a short time. You can see it came out in 2023, so it's been out even for less time than I realized. I think this came out at the very beginning of the year. I thought it'd come out even before then, but really just like the art. I like that she's wearing the headphones there, and there's a lot of stuff going on behind her. It's just pretty neat card. So was happy to pick that one up and glad to get it in a nice solid grade there. And so that's the mail day today. Just wanted to share with you some of that stuff that I thought were pretty neat pickups. I mean, I wanted to get the PSA 10 of that. Had never seen this Brooks card before with the stadium memorabilia from, I assume, Memorial Stadium, which is, a very meaningful location to me where I saw Brooks play and spent a lot of time watching games with my grandfather, and then this very nice gift from an acquaintance of mine online, and very unusual thing too from Pokemon Center Singapore. So pretty neat stuff, and thought I'd share it with you. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing that. I'll be back tomorrow on Tuesday to open something very interesting with you, something new and interesting, and then of course Wednesday, Pack Battle with Average Joe. Thursday's Anything Can Happen Day. I'm not going to tell you what will happen then because even I don't know yet. And then Friday, of course, we'll do Dorking with Dice. I think we'll probably go to a mixed box this week. We had off football last week in honor of the start of the NFL season. I think this week, since baseball and football are both going on right now, I think we'll probably do some football and some baseball, all vintage packs, of course, from the 80s and 90s, though we opened a pack from the 70s on Friday. We've been doing that. I think that's the second time that's happened in the last 3 weeks. I snuck a 70s pack in there, so you never know what's going to happen on Dorking with Dice. Should be a good time this week for sure. Hope you guys are having a great start to your week. I will look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow, and as always, happy collecting.